Hi, it's Kim, and I have another pick a card reading. This time it's going to be what are the blockages to this connection, this relationship, and why hasn't it been able to move forward? Or what's going on? Why does it feel stuck somehow? So we're going to look and see what are the problems between you and this person, or perhaps it'll be more about what are the blockages that is preventing you from having the type of connection that you really desire. So I have 4 stacks that you can choose from, and I'll show you that now. You can also pick a stone, or whichever stack actually calls out to you the most. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pick this first one, which corresponds to the crown chakra, but I don't really know if the messages will have anything to do with that. The second stack is this cube for the root chakra. Third is amethyst for the third eye chakra, and fourth is for the sacral chakra. So I'll give you a moment to choose and we can get started. Alright, please pause the video if you need more time. Alright, so let's begin. If you pick stack 1, what is going on? Why is there a blockage? Why are you experiencing a blockage? Why might that be? Anything along those lines, okay? King of Pentacles and Strength. Could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or a Leo for the Strength card. I don't know, maybe they have both of those signs there, or maybe you're one of these signs. Forgiveness. And it says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Then we have 8, Control, which is actually another Strength card. So for those who pick stack 1, you have 2 Strength cards right now. Very interesting. Then you have Completion. Number 9. So it could be that an earth sign, or whoever this King of Pentacles represents, it's almost like I'm sensing that you feel they didn't value you in the way that you wanted to be valued. You felt that they put something before you all the time. You know, you were always second choice is what you felt. Sorry, that's my nephew. But you were always second choice because they put something ahead of you. Maybe a career of some sort, work, or maybe friends is what I'm getting with this card. And you were sort of left on the back burner. So that's why you have forgiveness here. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So I think whatever this represents, I mean, it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It could be that somebody did this to you, like a friendship, or a person made you feel this way, and this is what's causing that distrust and that blockage in the heart chakra, which is preventing you from fully opening up and being vulnerable to this person, or to the people and to the potential romantic relationships that come into your life. With Completion here, next to this Strength card, this is Control. It's not the traditional Strength card, I think. There's definitely a different feeling here as opposed to this traditional Strength card. What I'm getting with this is if you look at her face, she's I feel very sad and empathetic towards her. It's like she experienced some disappointments, and she's looking down because, you know, she's hurt about it. You know, when you're hurt or you're depressed, you tend to look down a lot because you lost a little bit of that confidence. But in the back, you see her eyes are open and they're looking straight at you, and that's because she has the strength now, or she has mustered up the strength. She's awakened. She has come to a realization about something, and that's why that's important next to Completion. This tells me that there is growth happening, you are forgiving, you are moving towards this place of releasing that blockage that's preventing you from this connection, that's preventing you from, fully letting somebody in or anybody in. And that person could be represented by this King of Pentacles. So I don't know necessarily if the connection right now is what you're feeling blocked with. It could be that this past trauma or this past emotional blockage here is what's preventing you from moving forward in the relationship that you're in now, or in or with whoever you are interested in now. It's not to say that this is what's happening in this particular relationship at this point in time. It's just talking about the blockage that's preventing you from loving and from opening up, if that makes sense. I hope it does, because I can totally relate to this. It's like a distrust of people. It's like feeling humiliated by somebody, feeling mocked somehow, feeling worthless, and that person not even caring that you feel this way is what I'm getting from this stack. So I think you still have some resentment because of that issue, because of that person, because of that experience. There's some blockage here, and you really need to forgive that person, and you need to forgive people in order to move forward. And it's hard, right? How do you forgive? You can just tell yourself, oh, I'm over it, I forgive. But do you really? Like, you have to come to a deeper understanding and to a deeper sense of what this forgiveness means. And I think that has everything to do with humility and gratitude for where you are at right now, despite any pain or experiences that you felt in the past. So this is a very important card. I love this card. It reminds me exactly of what I need to do and who I need to forgive in order to move forward. And this is very key in removing blockages. So for those who picked stack 1, I hope that resonated with you, or you understood what I was talking about, and I hope that helped you to understand what you need to do, and to release some of that blockage so you can fully experience that love that I think we all deserve. For those who picked stack 2, I'm not going to be reading reversals. You have the Lovers and the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like at least for the first stack and this stack, there's some similarities here, for sure. Past experiences, I mean, it's inevitable when you're doing like a blockage type of reading, because past experiences are typically the cause of blockages. You also have indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. In that sense, then, Lovers becomes a card of choice as well, because Lovers is known to be a card of choice. But I look at it as, of course, a love card. I love the Lovers. I think it's a card of, like, twin flame, true love, divine counterships. But there is an essence of choice with the Lovers here. And with indecision, that kind of gives us a little bit more insight what this card might mean. And then we have Rebuild, Tower, with Self-Love. 61. So I think with the people who pick stack 2, again, there is a sense of mistrust in the world, mistrust in people, perhaps mistrust in men if you're a woman watching this, or if you're a man, there's a mistrust in the sex that you're attracted to in a romantic sense, because you have been hurt in the past. You were left feeling left out in the cold, rejected somehow. I think you have a feeling of being an outsider, not being accepted, not being welcomed, feeling I don't know, it's like feeling like people shut that door on you. And that's why you have indecision here with the Lovers. You're not entirely sure if you want to trust and you want to believe in the good, or if you want to be cynical and, you know, take your experiences as sort of the majority of life experiences and the majority of people's characters and integrity, if that makes sense. So there's like a deep mistrust, I think, of people and perhaps society. And I think perhaps you have been hurt before in the past, and it was devastating. It was like a tower moment. If you can see this woman, she's like broken apart in pieces because I think this tower destroyed her. If you can see these parts here, and then she's using this like inner power, inner strength to sort of like put herself together. And I think that that's basically what you're going through, your message. That's basically self-love. And it's interesting because this is the tower in the traditional tarot, but as you can see, it has a very different feeling to it because of the image. And it's awesome that I use this deck because I think it adds to the message in the perfect way. So you need this self-love in order to exist or to show up in the world. In a way that you feel confident to trust again, in a way that you feel like this could never happen to you anymore, like this is not possible because people are just going to gravitate towards you. So in this indecision, what's blocking you is indecision of whether you want to trust or you want to just close your heart up and sort of be a player of some sort. It's like you're conflicted between being like this awesome, genuine woman, lover, or man if you're watching this. Like you're conflicted between being romantic, being loyal, you know, being the ideal partner for somebody, being the ideal romantic partner, or sort of being somebody who plays people and breaks hearts because of what you've been through. It's like it's sort of like a revenge thing. You want to have revenge, but you also know that that's probably not the way to go. So you have a choice. And it's like you're putting yourself together. There's a lot of healing happening. So it's similar to those who pick stack 1. But different in a way that for those who pick stack 1, I think they're determined. Those who pick stack 1 are determined to fully heal and be positive about it. Heal in a positive way and kind of embody the more positive aspects of the lessons that they've learned through their experiences. But I think with you have a little bit of rebellion happening here. Like, you almost have a cynicism, I think, of people, and that could be what's blocking you from having that deep connection that the Lovers can and often talks about. This true match, this true perfect soulmate twin flame match, I think is what you inherently want, but there's a distrust or a doubt in you in a way that you feel like it might not even exist because of the way that you have been treated in the past or your past experiences. So it's really up to you to decide. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to decide. You know, you can decide to rebuild yourself and become like this angel, or you can become a dark angel. But it's up to you, and you know, whatever your heart is saying, whatever you know inherently is the best for you, then you go for that. Because sometimes it is necessary to play the bad guy sometimes, you know. But it depends, really. Of course, I don't want to advocate for breaking hearts because I think that just hinders the growth of humanity and the growth of the individual soul. But who am I to say what you should do, you know? I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know the messages that you're getting. So definitely listen to that, for sure. If you pick stack 3, your messages are the Wheel of Fortune. I love this card. Just makes me feel all kind of happy. Knight of Swords could be about an air sign. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Blossom, which is a judgment card in this deck. I love how we're getting like a lot of major arcanas from this Power of the Heart Tarot Oracle deck from John Holland. So far we've been getting major arcana cards. And you also have individuality. Sorry, I'm gonna fix my seat. Alright, so what are your blockages? I think you have a lot of fire in you. You have a lot of passion, you have a lot of determination, you have a lot of personal will and power. And to the point that you might even be pushing people away, or you might be turning some people away, turning some people off, because you're so fiery and like you want to go straight towards what you want. The cards are flying because it's windy right now, but it's still a beautiful day. So it's like you're charging ahead, and to the point that I think you may be like leaving people in the dust. And then growth tells you to kind of slow down and humble yourself a little bit. Keep others in mind, and I can totally relate to this. I'm an Aries sun with an Aries moon and a Scorpio rising, so I know what this energy is talking about. Individuality for me in the sense kind of talks about a little, I think it kind of gives a sense of selfishness a little bit. Because I think when you're super in touch with your individuality, you tend to ignore other people and what other people need and what other people want. You tend to focus on what you want and what you feel and what you believe, without really caring about the fact that other people may oppose you, and you have to sort of think about that. And I say that especially because of the Knight of Swords here with those who pick stack 3, and growth. So that's your blockage here. I think your blockage has something to do with selfishness and always putting yourself first. But I think the Wheel of Fortune comes to help you understand. Those blockages, where you're going wrong. And I think this is your blockage in connection with people, in finding that person for you, or in connecting with somebody in a deeper sense, in a more truer, deeper bond kind of connection. And I think with Blossom here, which is judgment, there's a realization happening, or there will be a realization happening, or there needs to be a realization happening. With Blossom and individuality, oops, I dropped the card, hold on. So with Blossom, individuality, and the Knight of Swords together, I think blossoming sort of adds like this feminine energy to these two cards here, Knight of Swords and individuality. And it's like, it has this sort of balancing and calming effect. So, you know, you can blossom and like charge ahead and act like, you know, the world is yours and that you can do whatever you want. Or you can blossom, I think, in a more calm, grounded way where, you know, you look at things holistically and you take note of those around you and what's going on around you, and you try to work that in your experience and in your growth. And that's what I mean by this calming, feminine effect of blossoming. It's like you're it's like you're harmonizing. Yes, you're harmonizing this masculine and feminine energy, like the yin and yang. Like this reminds me of the yin and yang a little bit. So like there's this harmonization, this synergy happening between these two energies, and this is like pulling you back a little bit, but in the best way possible, I think. And this is like your Wheel of Fortune moment. However this is going to come to be, this balancing, however that's going to come to be, that's going to be like this Wheel of Fortune moment where the universe grants you this situation or experience or understanding, which allows you to make this energy shift. Because energy shift is everything. I mean, that's how things move forward. That's how things change. So I hope that you got insight from that stack, like you understood a little bit of what might be blocking you, or if not, if that doesn't resonate fully, I hope that you kind of understand your own personal experiences based on what I was saying, and the ways that you need to adjust. You know what? I keep forgetting to like refer to the other people. Like, this is not necessarily just about you. It could be about the person that you're dealing with. And I keep forgetting to mention that, but it's a thing. The things that I mentioned in all the stacks, it could be about that other person. It could be that this is their blockage and that's what they need to work on, and that's why they're acting in that way towards you, if that makes sense. So anyways, I hope that you got some insight from that and some understanding to help you move forward in your growth. So if you pick stack 4, this is your stone, and your blockages are the blockage in the connection, the blockage in how you connect to people. This is it. This is your message. The Devil. 10 of Pentacles, which is a card I think that I love now. I didn't like it at first, but now I do for some reason. Devil, 10 of Pentacles. Instantly I'm getting maybe a family member, or your family could be blocking the connection. I don't know, I just really got that instantly. I didn't look at these cards prior, so I want to put that out there in case that resonates with somebody. I feel like people's families, the way that their family is, their thoughts, or the way that their family thinks, the way their traditions, their culture, I think, could be what could be hindering you from connecting with somebody deeper. I think this could be a Capricorn too, if I'm not mistaken. This is a Capricorn card, so maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn in the family who is blocking you from this connection with this person, or perhaps just connection romantically. Perhaps your family is not really accepting of certain groups of people. That could be a thing. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Interesting. Crown chakra. Similar colors here, so I think that means something, which I'll get to in a second. Yes, follow your dreams, 85. The core of that is very similar to these colors as well, if you can see. Okay, a few things. I still stay with what I said about the family member. I think people's families aren't as open-minded or connected to spirituality or the divine nature or laws of things in the world. And that could be sort of hindering this deeper connection that you want, this fulfillment that the 10 of Pentacles entails. So because they're not as spiritually awakened, spiritually receptive to the divine, or to when they're not spiritually awakened, when they're not receptive in that way, their minds are essentially closed to a whole other dimension, for the lack of a better term. Like, their minds are closed to other things. And because of that, they lack understanding in very key things that I think you value, which is why you're even on this page. I feel like if you're on here watching this, you value, like, the thing that I'm talking about, this core belief in the sacredness of life and existence. I think if you're watching this, you understand that. And what you're really seeking is, like, this deep bond, this deep connection, this true love, loyal connection where you don't have to worry about these petty things, you know? You don't have to worry about them cheating on you or lying to you behind your back, because they're not in that point in their lives. They've grown beyond needing to do that, if that makes sense. So this is why I was kind of confirmed in the thought that it was somebody around you that was blocking you. I think in relation to the rest of the cards, this could mean that the people who I'm talking about, they want you to do certain things. They want you to do what is traditional. Maybe they want you to be a doctor. Maybe they want you to be a nurse, a lawyer, a dentist. These very traditional fields, which I have nothing against. But the thing is, this is not for everybody. Those things are not for everybody, and I think people forget that we're changing, we're evolving, and there's new ways to exist, new, very fulfilling ways to exist. And I think these people, represented by these two cards in combination, may not fully understand that, or may not listen to you when you say that. And that's why crown chakra comes up. But this could be you. This could be your blockage. Maybe your crown chakra is not open. And maybe this is your message, is to say, you know what, your crown chakra isn't open. Open it. Friendship. Maybe there's a toxic friendship that you need to let go of. Sometimes we have to let go of our friendships. Certain friendships that are no longer beneficial for us. The lesson has been learned, and now you're vibrating on a different frequency, then it's time to let them go. Perhaps that friendship doesn't have an open crown chakra, or maybe this is a message of changing who you're around, changing your circle, I think. So it could go either way. It could be that these people already exist in your life and you need to let them go, or you need to find new people in order to have that connection that you want, and to release that blockage that is preventing you from that type of connection that you want, right? So for those who pick stack 4, what is blocking you? I want to give a concise sentence, because I feel like there's something that I'm missing and I want to say. So give me a moment. What is blocking you in this connection? I think there's fear of following your dreams, for one thing, because like I said, of other people's judgments and closed-mindedness. Maybe it's your own. Maybe you're scared that that's not going to be for you, or you're scared that you can't do it. That's another possibility. Perhaps this could be a message of raising your vibration a little bit. With the devil here, it's a very low vibrating card. Low vibration. The devil is a very low vibration. I think it's the lowest vibration in the card, I think. But it's not something I'm scared of. It's a reality, this vibration. It's not to say there's this scary guy with horns running around ruining people's lives and shit. It's just an energy. And with that energy, people come up with different ideas and different concepts, which is which is how this image came to be. It's just, so I think a lot of people get scared of this image, and I'm like, oh my god, the devil, it's evil. No, it's just the frequency, and you have every capacity and capability to shift it. And this energy is like really, really high vibration energy, and it's like such a contrast to this one. This is very worldly and occult energy, and this is like divine, spiritual, sacred, like on shrooms type of energy, like animals or like animal totems type of energy. I don't know if I'm making sense when I say that, but basically there's a need to at least balance these energies or to shift from this to this. So that's the blockage, I think. Could be something to do with this. Maybe a friend is a blockage, or you need to find new ones. But also family could be a thing, and fear of following your dreams because of what other people will think, because of society, because of traditional beliefs that you no longer resonate with but are afraid to say so. So yeah, that's your message if you could stack 4. I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you got insight from it. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, information for that will be below. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for watching.